Welcome to the American Woodshop. I'm Suzy Phillips.
And I'm Scott Phillips.
And actually, we're at my shop today and we're building a fun sleigh.
And we'll do a corkscrew willow balustrade, which is spectacular. So don't go anywhere.
The American Woodshop with Scott Phillips is brought to you by
Woodcraft since 1928, providing traditional and modern woodworking tools and supplies to generations of craftsmen. Woodcraft, helping you make wood work.
Pro Tools for tool pros. Rikon Tools.
Woodcraft Magazine. Projects, plans, and web links designed to help you make wood work. P.S. Wood, home of Timberwolf Swedish silicon steel bandsaw blades and super sharp scroll saw blades. A bed to sleep on. A table to share meals. A house that feels like a home. The Furniture Bank of Central Ohio, providing furniture to neighbors in need.
Check this out. I've always wanted to build a sleigh for some yard art for the holidays and a little reindeer. So I did it. You only need a few basic tools.
Okay, and it's 3/4-inch plywood, outdoor grade, painted to perfection, and plenty for stout for that holiday photo. But first, we're going to get to corkscrew willow balustrades in her barn. So let's get busy.
Let's go. Creating a corkscrew willow staircase and old twigs is a little bit like a puzzle, and just picking the right piece and going one at a time. And I've got a trusty assistant up here that's helping me get all the angles right. How's that looking from up there, Scott?
Needs to drop down just a hair like that. And what I'm looking for is code, because, man, building inspectors, they're going to have a ball with this. But as long as a 4-inch ball cannot pass through an opening, it's to code. So we'll get it done.
Might need to go over just a little.
Well, swing your end out. Swing your end down. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, and I just used a Sharpie marker to score in the line off the bottom of the handrail here, which is just a 2x6. And now I've got lines, and it's over to the bandsaw. You do one at a time because you have to weave these together. And boy, this is so solid.
I love it.
What do you think of Suzy's layout? We're slowly filling in all the wall spaces after it was insulated with barnwood, no powder post beetles. You know about that. We showed you what to look for. And now we're going to use a bench top bandsaw. This is a mighty saw, 10-inch throat capacity here. Heavy duty, it gets the job done. Now there's double marks. I know I'm going by the second or lower mark on both of these. And as long as I have a good solid foundation to the surface of the table saw and keep this workpiece basically parallel to the table or the ground, I'm in good shape there. So I'm going to lock that column in place with just the right clearance. That controls the blade better. And I can do the same thing over here. That looks really good. So I've planned the cut. Now, whatever you do, be sure to work safely. Read, understand, and follow all the instructions that come with the tools and products you use. And we're going to make that cut. So, and this is secured to a bench top. So let's make that cut. And carefully, reaching behind the blade, not in front of the blade, take that scrap away. I want it supported on two sides here as I make that cut.
All right, that looks pretty good. You can see those nice angle cuts. Let's do the test fit.
This is where Scott gets nervous.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
I think it looks good.
Okay, it pays to get lucky. And
Yep.
I want 2-inch long, coarse square drive screws, coarse because that goes into this pine railing a little bit better than a fine thread would go, and this will get screwed down below. Draw it all tight.
All right, let's
Bring it
get
on.
this one marked and cut it and
Okay. Let's swing that around a bit. And okay, so I'll get this marked. Off to the bandsaw, next cuts, and we repeat this process until it goes all the way up.
yeah, can't wait to see how it's gonna all turn out.
Looking good.
Yeah. All right, we're getting ready to place the next one. We got it all cut. Always do a test fit, and Scott's gonna secure this one down here at the bottom.
And man, those self-tapping screws, they're there to stay. That will get a screw as well.
Yep.
But let's get that one
All
in.
right. Looks good.
Okay.
Here you go. I'll hold
So-
it down here, and you get it placed up there, and we'll get the proper spacing. Gotta always double check yourself on
Okay,
that.
what do you think?
It looks good down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to secure it, and we'll repeat this process all the way up.
Yep.
Okay, and it definitely is awkward, which is why you don't see more of these railings.
That's why I let him do that part.
But it's well worth the effort.
Yes, you gotta branch out sometimes. That was kind of bad,
that's
but I
good.
couldn't resist.
We'll get this done.
Okay. Every wood shop needs a welcome sign. And to cut this out, I've just got 3/4 inch. It's a plastic material, easily paintable. And I just cut out all the letters on the bandsaw. It's super easy, goes fast. And I've got it all traced out here. I've got my bandsaw all set up. I'm using a 3/8 inch 4-tooth blade. And I've got the marks, and we'll cut off the corners first, and then I'll do the inside of the circle. Make sure you have your safety glasses and your dust mask. All right, let's do this. And make sure and always keep the workpiece firmly on the table. Okay, just about done, and then we can do the inside. All right, here we go. And just take your time, follow the line, and keep your hands out of the plane of the blade too. That way you don't have to worry about ever getting in a bind. There we go. Okay. Turn it off. And once that blade is stopped, I'll release this and then pull this up. And then the inside just lifts out, just like that. Let's see, get that out of there now. There you go. Oh, it's all done. Every sleigh needs a reindeer, and I just drew that one up. Thought it was kind of cool. It's 3/4 inch plywood, which is what I'm cutting the sleigh out of. So
Right.
if you set that over there.
Will do.
And I made a template of my sleigh out of 1/4-inch plywood, and I have traced the pattern out on here, and I'll just cut it out with the jigsaw. I do the bandsaw, but for big projects like this, I need cordless and I need a jigsaw. So I've got a wider blade just to do the bigger, straighter cuts, and then I've got the small scrolling blade, which has higher TPI, and that really gets in these curves to make a nice curve. So I will set that down here. I'll start cutting out the main part and just keep going. I've got this up on some 2x4s, so I don't have to worry about the blade getting my bench. It's up off the top. So I'm gonna start making the cuts. I can just stop, back it out a little bit, and then just keep on Okay, for the runner on the sleigh, I decided to do stars and trees. You can pick any pattern you want. You can do some scroll work, but since I kind of did detailed scroll work on the outside, I figured it'd be fun to do a little pattern. Just you can use a stencil, freehand, whatever you want, and I made each square 6 by 8 inches, and I just used a little quilting square and a pencil and drew that out. I've got them all cut out except for the star. I did pilot holes to put my blade through that. I'm using a scrolling blade, a real small, I think this one's 20 TPI. So let's get to work on that, and here we go. So I'll cut out the star, and I'm just gonna do all these cuts just so it'll drop out and I have fine points since it's a star. And here we go, the first one. Stop there. Just go and pick it up. There, and that one falls out, and then you just keep working along. Got that one, and I love this jig because it has a nice blower, gets all the sawdust out of your way, and a light. It really is a great little tool. There you go. Switch sides. This fine blade really lets you get right in there. And you can stop it, switch hands if you need to. Whew, it got stuck on itself. There we go. All right. So I'll finish getting this cut out, and then we can get on to the rest of the assembly. All right, we got it all cut out, just a little light sanding. We're ready to go. I just got a little sandpaper on a sanding block. I'm gonna knock off the edges, and it'll be time to paint. All right, now's the fun part, painting it and really making the sleigh come alive. And I first painted the whole thing red, which I'll show you doing that in just a second. And then the bottom half I taped off, and then I just sanded off the red that I had painted to kind of give it that old world feel. And then I did a little gold over it, and then a little filigree here, just used a stencil, and then just freehand the edges.
A little of this, a little of that, off to the races she goes.
There you go, yeah. And then I'm just using a roller.
Now, 1 second.
To paint. Oh, yeah.
See where the
right.
blue tape is. That will get cleats made out of white oak because it's very durable outside, 2-inch long, coarse bronze mix fasteners. That way they won't corrode. And here, 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 and here. And the reason you can't paint this, we're going to lay a bead of glue down and then use those screws to hold it in place like a clamp. But away you go now.
And I just found a really bright holiday red and just roll it on there. And I'll do a couple coats and super easy. And just make sure you do a great top coat to take care of it while it's outside, if you have it outside.
And right here, a good bead of glue, wood to wood. And now with these fasteners, you want to make sure that they don't go all the way through, because after your wife has worked on this, that would be a longer conversation.
Bad.
Okay, and we have screws going through the bottom that will latch on to this southern yellow pine right here, kiln dried. And you can use outdoor oil on that for a nice effect. So we'll get this done and join everything together and take a look at the Suzy Phillips holiday sleigh.
Yeah, let's take a ride. All right, well, this is about 15 years old and it's really aged and weathered well, but now that you made that nice new chair, I think mine needs a little help. So I'm using a beautiful Tuscan red, same as on the barn doors. I really love it, and I think it's just gonna bring this two-person bench back alive.
Okay, now you're brushing and rolling that on.
Yeah.
And I was overruled. She said the wood in this Adirondack chair that we made on the show last week is just too pretty, that we have to put exterior 450 on it, and I don't disagree with that.
No, it's awesome. Look at that coming alive.
Yeah, look at the colors. And with water-based exterior paints, they go on, they have a light milky color to them. Takes them about 2 days to go crystal clear. And these have UV blockers in them, meaning, hey, here's a quiz. What destroys a finish on furniture? You go, is it rain? Is it cold? Main thing is ultraviolet light. So if the finish doesn't have ultraviolet blockers in it, it's not going to hold up. It's going to break down, especially a film finish like this. But once this is on here, it's really going to do the job. And this is super durable. I'll get 3-4 years out of this. But with all outdoor furniture, wood that is, what's your best finish? You can't beat paint because of the pigments in it. It holds up to ultraviolet light. And these doors with that Tuscan red have really been super durable. So could not be more happy with it.
See, look how pretty that looks.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's worth doing it right, Suzy.
That's for sure. And this is
Okay.
looking good too.
Okay, we'll get a look at these when these are all done.
Yeah, giving it a new life.
Whew, that is pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, wood selection's key. What's the most durable outdoor wood that grows in North America? Well, I'm a forester, wood technology guy, and I can tell you from experience, if you go with white oak, if you go with cedars, they are very durable if they do one thing, dry out between wet cycles. Once they get wet and you have ground contact, that can really lead to finish failure. So where you put your furniture is key. It needs to be able to dry out between cycles. So there are some great tips for you on restoring furniture, and it's coming to life. It's looking really good. So look at that grain come to life with exterior 450. Great exterior finish with UV blockers. Which one's going to be more durable? Well, they're both made out of very durable woods. That's 15 years old, white oak and bald cypress. This one on show 2810, one show back, that's Eastern red cedar, western cedar, white oak, bald cypress, and the two legs are southern yellow pine, old southern yellow pine, so good stuff. So I'm done. I don't know what Suzy's delay is.
It's soaking up the paint.
Well, that's true. It really needed that TLC.
It did.
All,
It did.
all fasteners on exterior grade anything should be stainless steel or galvanized. So that's very important. Otherwise, you're going to get stains where you can't go stain grade, where you see the natural beauty of the wood. You have to go paint grade. But still, Suzy, that really is looking great.
Thank
Double
you.
seat Adirondack from years ago, and then this new Adirondack, and this is a great plan from a magazine, and it's perfect, super comfortable. There you have it on restoration. Take care of that outdoor furniture.
All right, we'll do the last few screws, and we got her all put together.
2 inches is perfect because it doesn't come all the way through, which would be a travesty. There you go, easy. You don't shred it.
Nope.
There we go. And I have one down here. And let's see what the dogs think. Let's set it down. Easy does it. Here's the reveal. And it's got some weight to it. You better be holding on to, there we go. Good job. Look
There
at
we
that.
go.
Look at that, look at that. Okay.
All right.
Now, outside for the test ride.
All right, let's go. That's my good girl. Oh,
Well,
would you
that's
like
how
another
the
one?
sleigh comes together. Now let's head to the woods to learn how to prune trees correctly and then see what you can do with it on a balustrade. Boy, nicely done, Suzy. That's just
Thanks.
grand.
Thanks.
Whatever you do, plant trees. Trees, 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 more trees, please. And then take care of them. This is called timber stand improvement. And what that means is I'm pruning. When's the best time to prune trees? When the leaves are off, okay? And then you can seal it with pruning spray. But the first thing you do is you cut off a big part of it so you don't have a bunch of weight where you're cutting. That's a Japanese razor saw to do that. And then this undercut is the first cut you make next to the tree, flush to the bark. And you do that so the bark doesn't peel up. And then you can use a heavy duty saw like this, corset tooth, to take off the lion's share of it, not going into the bark like that. And now I can prune off, trim off the rest of this, and then that will end up getting sealed with pruning spray. So wait until the leaves are off, or in the spring before the leaves come out, and prune up the trees then, and you'll have friends for life. One mature tree generates enough oxygen for one person every day. And I think it's a great idea to plant whenever you can. So get out there, plant some trees. If you don't have a place to plant it, talk to the local forestry service or the soil service and volunteer your time, because they're doing that right and left, and you can make a big impact without having to spend any money. Just volunteer a bit of time. Okay, Forestry 101, take care of the timber.
I love it. I love the way it all came together, Scott. It's really just like I envisioned, and I love the post here at the end. This was from the willow branch that got struck by lightning, so that's kind of fun to have that in there.
It's grand,
But
Suzy.
these are all
It was her vision, really.
pretty strong. They're in there
for
to
this.
stay.
And it wasn't easy to do, but it's worth it. I mean,
Oh,
look
completely
at that.
worth
It's
it.
just
I love it.
spectacular. It invites you up to the loft, and you'll have to see that some other time. So remember, in your wood shop, do things with recycled wood. Head to the woods, prune up the trees, timber stand improvement, and then save those limbs, because
That's right.
hey, it's full of possibilities.
Absolutely. Never know where you'll use it.
Okay. Well, won't you join us next week for more great ideas from the American Woodshop and Suzy's Barn Shop?
There you go. See ya.
Beautiful. See ya.
Woodcraft since 1928, providing traditional and modern woodworking tools and supplies to generations of craftsmen. Woodcraft, helping you make wood work.
Pro Tools. For tool pros. Rikon Tools.
Woodcraft Magazine. Projects, plans, and web links designed to help you make wood work. P.S. Wood, home of Timberwolf Swedish silicon steel bandsaw blades and super sharp scroll saw blades. A bed to sleep on. A table to share meals. A house that feels like a home. The Furniture Bank of Central Ohio, providing furniture to neighbors in need.
For more information on tips behind the American Woodshop and watch free episodes 24/7, check us out online and like us on Facebook.